Of the amazing welcome to our big event today. This is our only Sewing Machine Today special, believe it or not, of the entire year. It's actually a one-day price. And here's what we love. It is from one of the premium global leaders, pioneers in sewing. It's Janome. They were founded in 1921. Do you know Janome actually pioneered several innovations in sewing? And we have the perfect, easy to use, and incredibly versatile, and listen to this, computerized system. It is available right now as our one and only Today special of the year. Mr. Jennifer Tryon is joining me. She is one of our sewing masters, just a creative brilliant. Make sure you look at all her blogs. She does tons of videos. She's a very busy woman. And I'm so excited because not only do we have a great machine, but guys, for the price of an old cranky one, you're getting now computerized.
Not just computerized, but customizable. When you are opting for a computerized sewing machine, trading in the old knobs that, maybe you had one and you pulled it out of the back closet somewhere, or maybe your mother-in-law had one and you got to borrow it. But you know what? I don't want you to fear something that's computerized. Look at this. On this ribbon, I'm doing happy birthday, Ruby. Ruby's my daughter. And just to be able to, I'm gonna just press the stop button here, because yes, you can use the foot pedal or the stop start button, but being able to do something customizable, like wrapping a gift with the person's name right on the ribbon, you don't have to pay anything extra for that. That's just a little bit of thread that you customized on a plain store-bought ribbon. Being able to upcycle things, being able to use things that you already own or purchase and just be able to make your own and do that sort of happy birthday, Ruby, or being able to—
So personalized.
Yeah, to be able to customize ribbon, to be able to customize your cuff of your sleeve, to be able to, honestly.
The edge of a pillowcase.
Oh, I love it. The
So
ideas
cute.
are endless. I love that. With the linens, you'll be monogramming everything. This is the Janome Mod 200. The 200 means 200 stitches.
Wow.
That's how many you're getting with this machine. And I don't want you to worry about the computerization. We're gonna go on a little tour of the machine in a minute, but take a look at all of the beautiful stitches that you're getting here. A lot of them you're gonna look at and go, I'm not sure what to do. The manual coming with it, it's gonna show you all kinds of, beautiful sewing techniques that you're gonna be able to do, including those alphabets, double-sided, beautiful little things that, like everything from zigzags and stars to little scissors and thread spools, kittens, stars, school buses, you name it, it's in this machine. And the stitch chart just fits right up here. And if we go on a little tour of the machine, Suzanne, you're gonna see what I've been working on here. Yes, remember I could press the stop start button if I wanted to not use the foot pedal. And if you had a little one on your lap, you could use the speed control and see how that's gonna slow things right down. So if you were doing something a little tougher where you were turning or you were teaching—
Or you're just starting.
Yeah, you're learning or you're teaching someone to sew. Or if you're on a straightaway and you wanna go full tilt, what I want you to see here is this machine is going about 1,000 stitches per minute.
Wow.
It's not bouncing around the table at
It's not
all.
jiggling.
It's not jiggling. You wanna know why? All metal parts.
Wow.
The only plastic that you're seeing on this machine is just the outer shell. Even the stitch plate here is metal.
And I gotta explain, that's a really big differentiation.
Yes, it
How
is.
many of you have it, and it's probably true, was last time you got a sewing machine and you've got one that's a dial-up.
Yep.
The problem with dial is they're not accurate, they're not consistent, and they're limited to a couple of stitches. And then you don't know how to get to the other stuff. You're like, I don't know how to do a zigzag. With digital, here's what happens when you have computerized. All you do is you look at the number, stick it in, and boom, it does all the work for you. So what happens is, even if you're just saying, I've never bought a machine before, or you've got an old dial machine and you're like, man, I haven't had that out in forever, or you're kind of sick and tired of being so limited by it, this is the amazing upgrade. And I've got to tell you, the price is out of this world. It's so funny, they were giving us our notes before I went on the air, and they're like, do you understand this is a fantastic deal? That's not Janome saying it. It is all of our team here, and it's true, because you get computerized, you get ease, you get incredible versatility. It could be your first machine, it could be your fifth machine, because you've got an old one and you really are ready to upgrade. If you want to get someone into sewing, it's a great machine for that. And I love the fact that you have so many things you can do with it, from home decor to just him and the pair of pants have been sitting in your closet forever, or that skirt that you've never taken to the shop and you're going to spend 50 bucks to get it hemmed.
100%.
Do it yourself.
100%. And you know, I know a lot of the crafty people who are watching today are all about card making and scrapbooking, but you're going to be going from hemming the pants to doing that home decor stuff to using your Janome on some of your scrapbooking pages,
cool.
on some of your card making projects. Look at just adding the stitching in with my inks, your watercolor, you know, from Crafter's Companion, you could do that, and adding the thread just for that extra texture. Oh, and adding that zigzag stitch rather than the adhesive, or add that, you know what I mean, just as that little trimmed out. I'm gonna show you how you can choose that stitch and sew on paper as easy as you can sew on anything else. So if we're continuing our tour around this machine, we talked about the speed control. Let's talk about how we're choosing a stitch. Because with the old knob machines, you'd be turning the button. Here, what I love about a computerized machine is it's gonna choose the optimal stitch length and stitch width for you.
That's
you
huge.
actually need to know a little more about sewing to use the machines with the knobs.
Oh yeah,
the computerized
I could never
machines
get the length and the width
really
right
help.
ever. I
They
could
really
never get
help.
that right.
So if I'm wanting to choose the zigzag stitch, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna know, oh, it's number 7. So I can go over to my toggle here and go up to stitch number 7. And then you've got your stitch width and your stitch length optimized for you here. Now you can make it longer, you can make it wider if you like, or you can use it as is. And as easy as this is get your paper down here, and instead of using adhesive, we'll put a little zigzag stitch, and we can slow down or we can go fast, and not having to glue that, and that extra texture is what really I love. Now I want to put the needle down. I've got a needle down button, so if I want to take that corner, I can leave the needle down and pivot. Off we go.
That's great.
Just adding this kind of texture to your projects. Needle down, press that needle down button, press our foot up, and we can pivot. And this is just gonna allow you to get a little bit more out of your machine. Now I'm running over my picture here, so I'm gonna keep going up.
I just think this is so clever. And guys, when you add thread and texture to your scrapbook pages, your cards, it changes everything. Also, it's great for those of you who love vellum, but don't know how to attach it.
Exactly. And just to be able to add that little extra bit of texture, and then we could frame it out with a photo on your cards, attach a little bit of ribbon, do it on the edge of your photo.
Can you, wait, hold that shot, guys. I'm gonna hold this. Could you grab the cards right to your right? You know, over there.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to show this is, you need to get this just to do this project. These are so cute.
So I love this for a birthday card, for a Valentine's Day. Just being able to take some scraps of fabric.
Love that.
Right?
It's so
That's
cute.
all it is scraps of fabric and just some little extra stitching, a birthday card.
Look at the zigzag around the edge.
Yeah.
Look at this cake, you guys. That's little pieces of fabric, or could be paper for that matter.
Well, it's just little pieces of fabric.
That's almost like free drawing, but you're using thread to do it.
That's exactly right. You're using the thread to draw with, and you're doing that in what's called free motion quilting. And you can do that on here by lowering the feed dogs. Now, that might sound a little bit advanced, but once you've got the Janome at home, you're gonna be able to go down this big rabbit hole of possibilities. So if we're going through the machine and we're choosing our stitch, let's think of some of the other amazing things we can be doing, because we can be going from something like Pinterest, like our cards here, over to something uber practical, like hemming our pants.
Sure.
So I'm gonna come over here and go through some of the feet.
And then after that, I would love to show them everything they get in the kit.
Let's do it, let's do it. Because one of the feet that you're getting is the blind hem foot. And if you've got a sewing machine in the house, there's no reason to be taking your pants to the dry cleaners and spending $30, not in this economy, when you can be doing it yourself. Part of what is coming in the kit is the blind hem foot. And if you look in the manual, it's gonna show you exactly how to fold your pants so you can get this. this stitch correct. So when you're changing the presser foot, there's a little button right here. They just pop right off like this, and then you can attach your new foot. And they just snap right into place. See how it snapped right on? And now I can go ahead, just like I did with that zigzag stitch, and choose one of the blind hem stitches. They'll point it out which ones they are in the manual, so you don't need to worry. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose stitch number 15. And now, or 13, and I want you to see something on here, if you can see the screen. And this is the beauty of a computerized machine. It's telling me, so if you're new to sewing, or even if you're not, and you're wondering, okay, is that the right presser foot? It's showing you presser foot G is the right one to put.
Oh, that's great.
And all of the Janome feet come with a little embossed, so there's G. You know, if you're using stitch number 13, this is the right presser foot to be using, and you can just snap it right in place. Janome has sort of a mantra that they live by: ease of use. They really want things to be easy. So when you're looking at your manual, when you're bringing your machine home, you're gonna really discover, like, actually, they've sold over 100 million machines. They couldn't be doing that if they weren't doing something right, if it wasn't easy enough to do. So I'm lining up my pants, regular pants, need a little hem, and off we go with that blind hem stitch.
Okay, let me kind of give everybody an update too, because I knew this was going to be a very popular and fun Today special. Here's what I want you to do. The deal is only good for today. Right now, you're going to be saving a ton of money. Normally, this is almost a $500 machine, and it's Janome. They're one of the global leaders. They're super pioneers. They've been around for a long time. They just make beautiful quality machines, right?
Yep.
But the deal is only good for a single day. So instead of $500, we're at $379.95. Remember, you're going to be able to do the alphabet. So if you kind of want to play in that world of monogramming or personalizing, it allows you to do that without having to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a machine for that. If you want to do a great good old straight stitch, there's so many fun projects I do, because I'm the queen of the straight stitch, that you can do with this, but it's not intimidating. I think this is what this does, is it allows you in a very easy way and a quick way and really accurate way, because it's computerized, to be able to do a lot of stuff you didn't think you could do. And you're like, oh, I can't sew. No, you just need the right machine. And this one's truly it. Now, how can you put it in your pocket? All right, here's what I suggest. Right now, we have 5 flex pays. If you have a major credit card, it's going to be $75.99 over the next 5 months. But because of the price point, this qualifies for VIP financing. Hello. So if you get your HSN card out, you're going to get 12 months to pay it off. No interest charged as long as you pay it off in a year. And it's $33 and some change to get a brand new Janome machine home. Now, this is also an exclusive configuration. So if you don't mind, Jen, can you go through exactly everything they're getting up front?
Yeah, I want to show you this, because what you're getting when you get this home is going to allow you to really grow as a sewer. You were talking about being queen of the straight stitch. That's where we all start. Yep. But you're also getting in your kit here the zipper foot. This is the seam ripper. I'm going to put the zipper foot. This is the foot that you're going to use. You'll see they've got all the little letters on them. That open toe clear foot, that's gonna let you do those alphabets and all the decorative stitches. This is the one I was just using, the blind hem foot. This foot here is the edge stitching foot. What this is gonna do is allow you to finish your seams like a serger does.
Ooh,
yes, that's foot's huge. Beautiful. Yes, exactly. And then you're also getting the regular zigzag foot. You're getting an extra pack of needles, 3 extra bobbins, the cleaning brush, the seam ripper, and those are the things that you need to grow as a sewer.
And the hard case.
I love the hard case. We saved the best for last, because this is gonna allow you to travel with your machine, or if you're just, getting to it here and there, it's to keep it covered so the dust stays off of it. And I always tell people, if you can leave your machine out and threaded, you will use it more often. You'll run and quickly do those repairs, quickly hem those pants, and you can put that hard cover on it, and it always is staying safe and dust free. You saw me before when you were talking, I started hemming these pants. I wanted to show you. Now, I did this with white thread. You will do this with black if you had a pair of dark pants like this, but this is that blind hem. that allows you to perfectly hem your pants without seeing it on the front. Now those little white tick marks, you'd have black thread. I did it in white so you could see it. But these are the kind of practical things that you're gonna be able to be doing along with all of the Pinterest projects, along with all of the fun, you know, card making and scrapbooking, all that extra texture, you know, hemming the pants. And this time of year, I brought this ratty net because, you know, this is the kind of thing where you're like, well, can it really be heavy duty? Yeah. Can it really go through all kinds of layers and different kinds of things like that? This is an all metal machine on the interior. That's what's brilliant about all Janome machines. They're all metal on the inside. The only plastic here is, you know, the beautiful outer casing. So I'm gonna put on my regular foot here. It's gonna snap right in, and I'm just gonna, this old, if you had a hole in that.
And then you're going, oh, I got to throw it out and I got to buy a new one. And how much is that going to cost you?
You know what? I'll say this about COVID. It did teach us to be more self-sustainable. Yeah. You know, mend and repair. We don't always have to buy new. Okay, let's go through this again because we're operating under like a mode system here. So if I'm looking at my stitch chart, in mode 1, I've got all of these practical stitches up top here. Your straight stitch, your zigzag stitches, the heavy duty triple stitch, all of those blind hems. Then you come down, you've got all of those 7 buttonholes if you're into garment making. You've got a whole row of applique stitches if you're into quilting, and then all of these heirloom and decorative stitches. And then we're getting down into the alphabet. So if you're wanting to put a quilt label on something, or if you're wanting to, maybe you're making linen napkins and you want to Merry Christmas 2025.
Cute. Yeah.
You can monogram those yourself, and you know, the stitches don't end. Beautiful decorative stitches. And also you're gonna get a lot of lettering. So if you've got a name that has an accent, you can do that with this machine. And all you're gonna do is make sure that you're in the mode where your stitch is. So if I'm wanting to do something heavy duty, like fix this net, I could go into mode 1. So just by pressing the mode button, it's gonna light up what mode you're in. So in mode 1, I'm gonna choose the triple stitch, which is number 4. So I can go up to stitch 4. It's telling me, make sure I have the presser foot A on, and it's giving me the optimal stitch width and stitch length for that stitch.
Great.
I can use the stop start button, or I can use the foot pedal. So if you have any dexterity issues or, you know, sore legs or feet, you don't want to use the foot pedal, or you want to stand and sew like a standing desk, you can do that. And because I'm on a big straightaway here, I can turn it right up full speed.
Get that baby going.
And you know what? This is very sticky nylon. You know, these are materials not like, you know, just easy cotton. It's going through this no problem, regular needle, regular thread. So I want you to think about all of the things. Yes, you might be creative and make, but also the projects that you're going to be able to get done around the house when you've got a machine in the house that is capable of whatever project you throw at it. And that's what I love about the Janome. No matter what you're sewing, it's going to be able to do it.
Okay, guys, so here's what I want you to do. Now, a little trick. A lot of people, and by the way, a couple things are happening. We have $7.50. That's all you're going to pay all day long for shipping, and we reduced the shipping on this, which is great. So it's $7.50, which means everything else you buy in crafting today will ship for free. So that's great. So once you hit $7.50, that's all you're going to spend for shipping. Make sure and check out. A lot of people think, oh, I got to fill my cart up first and then check out all at once. No, you check out all day long and our systems will go ahead and adjust that shipping for you automatically. Why do you want to check out right now? Because if we start to run out of these, and by the way, we don't have a lot of these. I was kind of surprised for today's special how few we have. We don't have a lot. If you check out now, you're guaranteed to get it. If someone else is checking out and we need it, it'll be taken out of your cart and moved into the person who's actively checking out. I've had that happen to me about 9 months ago, so don't let that happen to you. Go ahead and finish the process. You just keep ordering, keep checking out all day long in our big crafting event. Why do you want this? It's Janome. They are globally one of the true pioneers and one of the very best in the business. Why do we want this? Because you could be an absolute beginner, or maybe you say, I've got an old machine and I really want to do so much more. This is not intimidating because they've taken all the worry out. When they do, I used to have to try to figure out the width and the length, and oh my goodness, I think that's what turned me off of trying different things. Am I a straight stitcher? You bet. I'm probably the best at it. But after that, I kind of went, and I didn't really enjoy it. This is making it all simple and easy. You can do the monogramming, which takes you to that next level of personalization. It's a fun machine, and with 5 Flex, and we have VIP financing, it's a good time to get a new machine. Maybe you got an old one, maybe you've got a borrowed one, maybe someone gave you one years ago, and it's just sitting there collecting dust because it's too complicated. Everything, even from threading this, is easy.
It's very easy to thread. In fact, it comes with an automatic needle threader.
The angels just sang on that one.
Yes, there's an automatic needle threader right at the edge of the machine here. You just pull it down, loop the thread through, and it pulls right through the back, and you've got an automatic needle threader, and it pops right back up when you're finished. I wanted to take you through, I finished that sticky vinyl net without changing the needle, the foot, or the thread. I'm moving right on to quilting some squares.
That's great.
So if you were wanting to do something like make a quilt, and maybe you're wondering, how do I even start? I'd always wanted to make a quilt. Quilts are just one square sewn to another square, and then you just keep on going. And what I love about this machine is being able to get that accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance, because that's what you need in quilting. So without really changing much, you talked about being queen of the straight stitch. Quilting is all about the straight stitch. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to make sure I'm in mode 1 because that's where all my practical stitches are. So I'm just going to toggle down to stitch 00. That's the straight stitch. And it's automatically choosing the optimal stitch width and stitch length. But I want to show you something. When you're on a straight stitch and you press the stitch width, it's going to move the needle over for you. So when you are wanting to get that exact 1/4 inch seam allowance, you can move the needle over to exactly where you need it to be, and then we can start with that seam. And that's going to help you keep your seams nice and accurate. And if you need to go a little slower because you're just getting started, that's what you can do with that speed control. And when you're building a quilt, you're just taking square after square and then bringing in your next one. And I want to show you how good these feed dogs are, because I'm not even having to stop before I bring the next set up to underneath the needle.
Right.
You know, these are sort of some of the things that we take for granted about the Janome machine. We kind of think, oh, it's a sewing machine, it sews. But you know, I heard someone backstage say, oh, my machine, my fabric's always getting bunched up and stuck underneath the needle. Well, that's because Janome has installed a 7-point feed dog system. The feed dogs, it's a technical term, but they're the little teeth that are pulling in. So without even having to lift the presser foot, look at this. It's pulling that thread in without me even having to lift up the presser foot. That's because they're all metal, superior quality feed dogs. They're pulling that fabric through the system perfectly straight. So if you're kind of thinking, oh, I can't even sew straight, that might not be you. It may be how those feed dogs are installed on your old machine or on your big box store machine. These are all metal parts, and it really does make a difference. So while I'm feeding these in 1 square at a time, 2 by 2, we'll start building up, but you can be making those kinds of heirlooms. You know, these are the kinds of things, like I love all the crafting, you know, the card making and the scrapbooking. But cards and scrapbooks aren't heirlooms in the same way something like, look at this, I brought with me. So I made this a little while ago out of, and you could be doing it out of concert t-shirts, out of, you know, your favorite, you know, bands or whatever. But these are just all my son's hockey jerseys.
How cute is this?
Just upcycling. And you know what? This is only going to mean
it's actually an easy project, believe it or not.
It's just straight stitching, you know what I mean? But this is the kind of thing that no one else on earth would love this except for him. Every one of these teams really means something to him. But when you can be queen of the straight stitch, right?
Exactly.
You can be creating an heirloom like this, something that, you know, maybe a kid in your life or the athlete, or maybe their dance jackets or concert t-shirts.
Here's what's interesting, for years and years to do this, I kept all of my son's shirts from all of his events, all the camps he went to, and sports and all that stuff. But I didn't want to do it myself, and I spent several $100s sending them all away and had it made for me. I would have saved so much money.
You probably spend more than this machine on getting that one quilt made.
One quilt made. And now does he love it? Absolutely. It's like his favorite little quilt.
Yep.
It's got all these amazing memories for him, all these wonderful moments in his life. But I spent a fortune on it, and it was worth it for the experience of seeing him so excited about it, knowing that when he's 90 and he's showing his grandkids his quilt. Oh yeah, I used to do. I mean, that is worth its weight in gold. But why not do it yourself when you can? The problem is if you've got an old machine that's not computerized, it's not going to be easy. That's why we avoid these projects. This Janome is really designed to make sewing easy, to make it adventurous, to make it fun, to take you from here to here. You know what I mean? To do things that you didn't think were possible. If you're a beginner, oh my gosh, please Lord, grab this machine while we have it. It is brilliant because you won't get turned off from sewing by using an antiquated system. Also, the accuracy that you get on this is so much more superior than machines at this exact same price. Guys, you do not find a computerized machine at this price with all of these features, all the stitches, the monogramming, the personalization. You can't find them at this price. We're so lucky to have this deal tonight for you, and I'm thrilled too because it's a great machine from a great company. Just grab it while you can, while it's available. Please remember, there's no post sale on it. Sometimes we extend sales on our Today special. We will not be offering this after today. We do not have a ton of these. I was actually shocked, Jennifer, at how few we had for the whole day. So I always recommend check out tonight, check out tonight. I know Jen's showing you a ton of great ideas, but make sure you finish the checkout process before the hour is up. I don't want you to miss out on grabbing it.
You want to know why there's so few? Is because these are the kinds of machines that Janome typically sells at a sewing machine dealer.
Oh,
Janome has not gone the way of the big box store. You don't find these machines there. They're sold at sewing machine dealers, and that is by design. It's because they're all metal, high quality, and to be quite honest, they can't sell them cheap enough to even get in the big box stores because they're all metal parts. Wow. So take a deep dive into some of the so cute projects you can be making this summer. Maybe you've got grandkids you're watching, or you just think, oh man, I'd love to be able to just, you know, be creative, use up some scraps of fabric, upcycle, add some texture to my card making, to my scrapbooking, you know, just a little, I mean, beautiful throw pillows. Yeah. You know, the quilt, this is just a quilt block turned into a pillow instead. These are pretty easy patterns. I know you're thinking, oh, how would I ever make that? It's just a straight stitch here and a straight stitch here and a straight stitch here. And suddenly you've got a bee's wing and you think, oh my gosh, I've made it. How, you know? You
know what I love too? Also, if you go online, there's so many great projects. If you're just starting with a straight stitch, because that's how everybody starts, there's so many cool things you can do. This tote, a whole bunch of straight stitches, okay? Just FYI. It's not like you have to be this brilliant sewer. You will find so many inspiring projects online that show you how to do a ton with just a straight. One of my favorite things, I make eyeglass holders. It's so much fun.
I love those.
I do too. I did a whole video on it, and trust me, I am not a professional sewer, but there's so many things that are out there that you can do easily because of the Janome.
And look at how thick this, I'm gonna end just on this rope bowl because all this is a big, thick, 1/4 inch cotton rope, like a clothesline. And I wanna just end on showing you, it's gonna be like a hot knife through butter. Off it goes.
Amazing.
And I'm just taking it and zigzagging one side to the next. And you can be making those sort of boutique style gifts, but look at how it just...
How much would you spend for a bowl like this? They sell them for a fortune in the stores.
And you could be, it could be the base of a gift basket that you're giving someone with a homemade card. And I just wanted to show you how it just goes through that super thick rope. So I don't want you to think that you're getting something that's like, you know, Janome is all they make is sewing machines. That's what they specialize in. And they're meant to go through almost everything.
Thank you, my love. We'll see you throughout the day.
Sounds good.
All right, so stay right there, guys. We have a lot going on today. First off, $7.50. That's all you're gonna pay to ship all your crafts today. So go ahead and check out, get everything ordered, make sure you get it, because you don't want it stolen from your cart when someone else is buying it. Also, we have a secret sale. I know all my crafting cuties, you guys love our secret sale. All you do is type in craft happy and you will have items up to 60% off. So make sure to check that out. It's a steal of a deal. And the only way anybody will know about today is if they just heard me say craft happy. So make sure and check that out as well. All right, coming up, we have another company that is incredibly well known worldwide for sewing. I have Singer. I've got 2 really exciting machines to show you.
Hey there. Let's chat about getting some of the best deals on the things you love. Because when you're an HSN Card VIP, the perks are all yours. And who doesn't love extra perks? Like 12 to 18-month VIP financing on select items, plus extra flex on items that you love all day, every day. And HSN Card VIPs enjoy extra perks. Oh, if you apply today and if approved, you could get $40 off your order. So, are you ready to jump in? Give them a ring or visit hsn.com.
Food has always been my passion, but the truth is, even in the world's best kitchens, the tools can really make or break a chef. That's why I've developed this incredible, innovative line for HSN. It makes the prep easy, and it also makes the cooking a whole lot of fun. From my kitchens to your tables. Let's turn the everyday into gourmet.
We have something special for you. Sign up for HSN emails and take 15% off your next single item purchase. You'll get exclusive offers, early access, and the latest updates sent straight to your inbox. Love to save? Visit hsn.com to learn more.
Get deals on tap with the HSN app. Opt in to push notifications for shipping updates, app-only deals, and special offers. Stream HSN anywhere 24 hours a day. Download now and take $10 off your first app purchase. Happy shopping.
Indeed, it's so crafty. Hey, I'm Suzanne Runyon. I love sharing creativity with all of you. And we have an entire hour dedicated to sewing because you guys asked for it. You said, where's all the sewing stuff? We want more. Well, you did it, you asked, and we're supplying it. The next line, in fact, the next two items we have are from another impeccable company known throughout the world. It is Singer. Of course, it's been around for decades and decades and almost centuries, doing and creating great machines. The first one we're going to talk about is heavy duty. It definitely have the three machines I have. I have a regular machine, much like our Janome. I have a heavy duty machine, and I have an embroidery machine. Those are, to me, the three core. This is the heavy duty, and we do have a big old embroidery machine coming up in just a second. I love the black design. I think it's so cool. It's so striking. But if you're really doing things like denim and canvas, a lot of heavy duty, and you want a lot of speed, this is that machine that you want. Joining me, I'm very excited, is Carly Olds. She's a Singer educational specialist. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, so what do we love about this machine, and why should we add this to kind of our sewing arsenal?
Yeah, well, you know, Singer, like you were saying, we've been around for 175 years. We know a thing or two about sewing. This is our heavy duty model. It's great for beginners, but perfect for the pros. It's simple, but efficient in all the ways you need it. So it has 60% more piercing power. And today, just to start out, I'm going to do a little demo here to show you how strong it really is.
Okay.
So I have it set in a regular straight stitch, and I'm going to actually sew through 7 layers of denim.
Oh, wow.
So it really has that piercing power.
That's
and you know, it
amazing.
has all the functions. If you're just starting out, you're just learning to sew, it's not super complicated. You know where to go. But if you're doing these heavy duty projects like this jacket here that has wool, it has corduroy, a variety of materials, it has that power to sew through everything. Let me just get my pedal here. So as you see, just
That's
sewing right through
amazing.
7 layers of denim.
Well, you can really hear the difference.
Yes. All right, and doing everything in reverse here, but
Look at that way. I was going to show them. You're just like, oh, I've done that a million times, but you guys got to see this. I mean, literally, it went through 7 layers, completely sewn all the way through. Big, and this is heavy, heavy
Yes.
denim. This isn't even just like a whippy, stretchy denim. This is the real deal. So that really shows you the power of having heavy duty.
yes, there's so many things you can do. You can see here a variety of materials. We have plastic, like I said, denim. I love denim. I made this apron here with 3 different types of denim. There's one up here with upholstery and canvas. So whether you're into making these heavy duty type projects or you're an everyday sewist, you're into quilting, there's so many things you can do.
Okay. I want to show the kit too, because you're going to get so much, and this is an exclusive configuration that Singer put together for us. So let's explain these two things, because together when you see these twos, and these are the extra bonuses, this is, what are we talking about, 60, what was 60?
$65.
$65 in just these two extra pieces. So what are these two, what do they do, and then let's show the rest of the kit.
Yeah, so I always say, you know, in sewing, it's kind of like your everyday, you go on a hike, you need your hiking boots, you go on a run, you need your running shoes. Same with sewing, there's so many different feet to add on. So the home deck kit is great for everyday home projects. So we have a bias binding foot, a piping foot, and a ruffler foot.
Oh, nice.
So I actually made this apron here and I utilized all 3 feet. And I like to say that these feet can add flair to any project. So you can see here I added piping along the bottom, and this is where I added the ruffle on the straps, as well as this right here is where I put the bias. So these are things that normally would be a lot harder without these specific feet, and these just made it that much easier to add that flair to my apron.
And
And then this is an even feed walking foot, which is great for quilting and projects that have multiple layers. So typically when you're sewing, if you don't have that even feed walking foot, your layers of fabric could slide.
Oh, that's right. Especially on a slick, if you're making a rain jacket, let's say.
Yes, so it just goes along and kind of guides the fabric so it stays even all throughout. Great for quilting and those types of projects, which it's a really great deal.
Now you're also getting all your accessories that you typically would expect in it. You're getting all your bobbins. You're getting a button holder that's included with it. You're getting extra feet in here. So what are these 3 that we're seeing there?
Yeah, these are the ones actually from that kit, but here's a
gotcha.
sew-on button foot.
Good.
Your buttonhole foot. It has a 1-step buttonhole, which is great, an add-on. Comes with your bobbins, your spool pin, even feed walking, and then an additional spool cap as well, and then some needles, and of course, a seam ripper.
Gotta have that in
Yes.
case you might mess up. Okay, so let's go over the features of the machine itself.
Yeah, so 4432, it has 32 stitches as well as 22 stitches. So here's a little map of all the stitches you get on this machine. It has a great blend of variety of, you know, decorative stitches, utility stitches, just everyday projects you would need. It doesn't have the crazy bells and whistles, but for any everyday sewist, it could get the job done for those types of projects.
Yeah, so you get a lot of variety,
Yes.
which is great. Okay. All right, what do you want to do next?
Yeah, so I was going to actually show you, so, you know, it has, as well as those, in those 32 stitches, it includes 22 stretch stitches. So not all mechanical machines would come with stretch stitches. So there's a way you can just flip it over to your stretch stitch settings. And I've actually already set it up so it has a stretch stitch here. And what that does, it allows, you know, stretchy knit fabrics to move easier. Typically, if you use a regular straight stitch, without a stretch stitch, it can rip and break. So I have a little demo here to kind of show you how, so if you look at this apron, or it's a little baby bib, upcycling.
So cute.
We love upcycling. This was a towel that I turned into a little baby bib. Super easy project, but this neckline here, you see how it stretches easily. It almost creates kind of like an overcast stitch as well. You don't really need a serger, but you can see here along these edges, that's the stretch stitch, allowing it to easily have that knit put into the neckline. So I have this little knit fabric with some ribbing that I'm going to just kind of show you how easy it is to do that stretch stitch. I'm going to line it up.
And you know, Carly, that's for things like, you know, if you're going to do a swimsuit, you're going to do leggings. I mean, anything that you need to stretch, you definitely don't want to do a straight stitch on. You'll hear it rip. So it's handy to be able to have that. And I love the fact that, guys, if you're working on heavy-duty projects, maybe you're doing really thick items, like you said, Carly, too, the wools, the corduroys. I want you to think of canvas, certainly denim all over the place. This is just that next level of power that many of us need. If you are a beginner, yeah, sure, it's going to let you do a lot of options with it. Also, you know what I love about the heavy-duty? It is super fast.
Yes. And this black color, can we just talk about how sleek and bold this is?
Can I tell you, it was love at first sight.
Yes, it will
I
look
actually
good
saw it online first, and I was like, what is this cool black sewing machine?
With the red leathering, you know, that Singer's legacy, and it will look good in any corner of your house, I feel like this. And I'm doing this in reverse, kind of, so it's a little tricky.
God bless you, stand it backwards, live, and upside down.
Yeah. So my stitch is not super straight, just where I'm standing, but to kind of show you. And you know, it has a little snipper on the side to rip it, but you know, don't judge how crooked that is based on how I stand. But you can see the neck hole, you know, sewn in just like that with that stretchy stitch. And it goes right along the edge, kind of like an overcast stitch.
That's great. That's awesome. Okay, so here's the story, guys. Remember, the value, normally this is going to be, well, at retail, remember, you're getting the 2 additional sets. These little extra goodies are by themselves $65, and that's part of our exclusive configuration with this, too. So you've got both of those included, and you get all your basics. I got to tell you, I thought this was absolutely adorable. Like, you know what I like?
Sewing these layers of denim.
Denim on denim on denim. I mean, how? I mean, come on. So I love country music too, and like I got to tell you, Western fashion.
I live in Nashville, so.
Do you really,
yes,
girl?
That's where Singer's located.
Oh my gosh, I love Nashville. But I have to tell you, one of the biggest trends in fashion is truly that whole Yellowstone, kind of the country Western thing. And if you see girls who are really in the know, especially in Nashville, they would be rocking this on Broadway all day long.
Yeah.
And I've seen, oh my gosh, I actually saw a fashion show online of Western wear, right? And it was hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars, and it was cute and it was sexy. Now you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, just literally an old denim skirt, and you're just gonna add the layers to it, take an old pair of jeans and rip them up. But you've gotta have a heavy duty machine to be able to do that. Also, how many of you wanna do canvas totes? Maybe you wanna do thing like sailcloth. One of the coolest things I've seen is they're making out of recycled sailing sails for sailing vessels.
I actually met a guy who, you know, he didn't want to buy a new boat cover. He had a rip in it, and he used a heavy duty to repair the hole.
Did he really?
Yes, in his canvas boat cover.
And he saved a ton of money.
Yes.
I mean, probably for the cost of this machine. Yeah, anybody can do it.
And I don't know, we should draw attention to these bags.
Oh, please,
I mean, if you're a sewist on the go, you like to go to your friend's house and sew, or, you know, to a sewing club, these carry bags, I don't know if you're like me, but I actually have one of these in blue myself, and I use it as my regular to-go gym bag sometimes because they're so stinking cute. Even if my machine's not in it, they're, you know, super sturdy, and they have this extra pocket in the front. So, and they also have black as well. So a variety of colors.
Teal, we've got brick, we have white, cream, and then there's a solid black one back here, guys. So if you want the solid black, that is, oh, it is heavy duty too.
Yeah.
That's available. You can pick that up as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the features that we're seeing on the top and the dials.
So it has a drop-in bop-in, which is great. You know, you don't have to take it out to insert this part, the accessory tray, as well as you can adjust your needle position, which is really easy by just, you know, moving over this dial here and adjusting your width. And as well as the stretch stitches, there's a few decorative stitches as well that you can adjust to make satin stitches. So on this hoodie up here also, this was sewn together with the heavy duty. These stars, you know, they look kind of like applique, but this is just a nice satin stitch.
No kidding.
All along to sew that star on, and this
Wait, and hold that still real quick, because I want you guys to just hold it. I want you to see, so that, it looks like an applique.
Yeah.
That's great.
A satin stitch on a small setting, not as wide, and it's sewn on, and this little quilt block was also sewn, and you know, these is, again, multiple layers sewn onto this knit
thick, like this is heavy.
Yeah.
Can you show the other 2 items down there?
Yeah, so this is a denim applique, and they have the raw edges.
Okay,
and
that
then
is wait, hold still. Everybody's got to take a real good look at that. That is so cute. Oh, and that's one of the cool trends I've seen. Have you seen, and it's all you young people do, you young people, they're taking sweatshirts and they're cutting them out like this.
Yes.
And then they're taking old sweaters and they're sewing them into this crazy designs.
Yeah.
Like, you will get so inspired. I love what the younger generation's doing when it comes to
upcycling.
sewing.
We're good for the environment. And like these pants, I'm obsessed with these pants. One of my coworkers actually made these. So she took old athletic wear, you know, she thrifted, and she upcycled in these cool pants. And if you notice the letters, these are a thicker plastic material that she also sewed on, and it spells out Singer. So
oh my gosh,
these are completely
so
upcycled.
cute.
She took old pants and jackets, windbreakers, and made these really cool pants.
And I have to tell you, you will be totally inspired. But again, do you have the right machine to be able to do it? Like, that's a really thick, like if you ever work with leathers, if you work with sewing with leather, you need a heavy duty machine. It's the canvases, but like I said, it can do some delicate stuff too. So it can be the machine that really allows you to have a lot of versatility. Again, tonight we have 5 flex pays on this. So if you want to get this home, it's actually $46. And there's definitely a place for heavy duty. Like I said, I have something very much like our today's special. I have a heavy duty, and then I have an embroidery machine. And we've got the embroidery machine. If you want the big daddy, if you're the one who's really ready to go crazy with embroidery. Carly and I are going to talk about that next, and so stay with me. But again, those to me are the 3 sweet spots of what you need. Maybe a serger if you're really going to sew a lot, but of those 3, you're really accomplishing virtually everything.
Yes, and like I said, if you're brand new to sewing, wanting to get started, the heavy duty is a great place to start because you can grow with it. There's so much you can grow into with this machine.
Yeah, there's a ton of space. And again, look how cool the black is.
It's
like,
so
I'm
sleek.
loving the black. I saw it online first, and I'm like, ooh, Singer did a black machine. It's like a matte black, so it just looks really amazing. Again, use that flex pay, guys. You have 4 flex pays. Oh, actually, I have 4. Oh, it's 5, and it's $46 with any major credit card. Pay it off in 5 months. Please remember, we reduced the shipping to $7.50 on this. And again, this is a heavy duty, really well-built machine. So only having to pay $7.50 for shipping is awesome. But remember, all day long, once you pay that first $7.50 in shipping, you get free shipping on all your other craft purchases. So again, don't forget to check out. All right, I want to talk about our HSN card because you can use that on our Today Special from Janome, and you can use it on the embroidery machine, which is coming up next, because we're going to give you VIP financing. It's actually one of my favorite features about the card is because it's a no-interest finance program. Now, how do credit cards make money? Well, they charge you interest every single month. We don't, as long as you pay it off within the window that we allow you to pay it off in. And that could be 12 months to 18 months total. So if you don't have our card, check it out. Today is the last day that you get $40 off that first purchase. So whether it's Today's Special, you've gotten that card, or you're going to pick up our embroidery system, this is a great day to get that card. All right, so here we go. From Singer, we're going to talk, to me, the best of both worlds. Obviously, the price point's a little bit higher, but again, they did a phenomenal job. You're saving $40 tonight. They put together an exclusive configuration. I love the idea of embroidery because now you can personalize anything to the nth degree. If you've got it in your mind, this is going to be able to do it. What Singer has done, and I'm so excited we're showing this machine tonight, is they've taken the best of embroidery and advanced technology, the Wi-Fi, and have put it together in a system that has literally endless possibilities. So here we go, guys. We've got VIP financing. You get actually 18 months to pay this one off if you use your card, and that's about $50 a month over 18 months, and you're gonna get this whole embroidery / sewing system. So if you don't wanna get 2 machines or 3 machines, you want one machine that can do virtually everything, we're here with this one. Literally, you can tell I'm excited.
Yes, I love that. I'm excited too. Okay. Yeah, so our software is called MySewnet. It's amazing. There's so many components of it. There's embroidery, there's crafting, there's quilting. You know, obviously this is more for the embroidery, but you know, this machine connects directly to your Wi-Fi. A lot of embroidery machines, you have to have a USB cord, or USB outlet. You know, plug it in, you have to save it, download it. This super easy and fast, right from your phone, right from your tablet, right from your laptop.
This part is huge, guys. Did you hear that? You don't have to plug it in. You don't have to have an SD card. You don't have to have a USB thumb drive in here. You're going to do it off your phone, your tablet, or your computer, and it's completely wireless.
Yes. You just go into our software and, you know, say there are built-in designs and fonts. You know, if you don't have your Wi-Fi or you don't want to be connected, you can just go in here and, you know, pick designs. But we have way more to choose from in our library, and we constantly add new designs. So you can go in, save it to your vault, and then you can go into your vault right on the screen and access it, or you can just send it right from your computer directly and it will pop up.
And literally you can make anything you want, and we're gonna show you that too.
So, you know, I have some samples here, and, you know, obviously embroidered all of these, and one of my favorite things that I'm about to show you on this demo is if you see this black denim jacket here, there's a bunch of designs, some
so cute
hearts, and, you know, interesting. So those are actually drawings that one of my coworker did, and she drew them out, and we have a thing on our app, on our software called Photo Stitch. And it's really cool because what you can do is in a matter of minutes, seconds, it takes less than a minute, you just snap a photo on your phone of the design, and you can send it right to your machine. So if you actually look at this tea towel here, this is really cool and honestly kind of sentimental. This is another one of my coworkers. So this is actually a recipe that her mother wrote. And she snapped a photo of, you know, it says peanut butter cookies of the top, and then she zoomed in, cropped it, and then photo stitched her mother's handwriting onto this tea towel.
How precious
So
is
sentimental. So now when she's in her kitchen cooking and she just sees her mom's handwriting there from her recipe. So it's really cool. There's a lot you can do with the software, and it's so easy to use and user friendly.
Okay, so I want you to show, we've got some video and kind of explain the steps here, if you don't mind.
For the photo stitch, I did a little screen record of my phone. I don't have it up here with me, but this is the exact drawing, and I just took a quick snap of it.
Just took a picture.
Yep, right within the app, and then you can go in, you can kind of play around with the settings. So I actually did for this stitch out, it's called a scatter stitch, and it's not a satin stitch, it's a little thinner, and it kind of gives it that handwritten, drawing look. Okay. So I just quickly played around with the settings and the size. You can zoom in and out. I didn't show this in the video, but I also went ahead and drew my name later on an additional piece of paper, and I just quickly sent them both over. So if you can see on the screen here, within a matter of seconds after I drew it, it's right on my machine, ready to go.
That's
like
great.
The technology is pretty crazy. So I already started it earlier, because of time, but I'm gonna go ahead and just press play. And that's all you really need to do is just press play
and walk away.
Yeah. And it has a ton of functions that make it a time saver. It has the speed control. It has the thread snips. There's so many add-ons that make it great for a beginner, but also for the sewist that's a little more advanced that would want those.
Right, exactly. And I have to tell you, I think one of the coolest things that never gets tiring is personalization. Everybody, Etsy has tons of people on there. All they do is make personalized stuff, and you spend a fortune for it. You got a wedding coming up and you're trying to do personalized totes for every bridesmaid. It costs you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now you can do it yourself. Imagine if you went to your little grandson, or you went to your son and said, okay, draw a picture for grandma. And then they draw the cutest little picture, or you have a picture. Like for me, it's all my sentimental. My son's 27, and I love all his artwork. I still have it. Can you imagine transferring that and then being able to stitch that out onto projects? Like that would just be something so precious for me personally. And that's certainly how we feel about it. I do want to show them all the goodies they get, because you get the hoop, obviously, that comes with it, but kind of walk us through everything we get in this collection.
Yeah, so it comes with your standard accessories, the one-step buttonhole, and then your button foot, a zipper foot, and another cool setting I was going to kind of show you on this machine. This is set up for the sewing. It comes with this little stylus. You can use your hands as well, but you can also use a stylus. Oh, nice. I love how it separates the tabs. So it has over 250 variety of stitches, decorative stitches, utility stitches. So you can just go into the tabs and, search the variety of ones you want and play around with it that way. There's like little hearts, there's so many options. It has so many types of buttonholes. It also has, if you don't want to plug in your embroidery and you want to just quickly stitch out a word or add a tag, it also has programming stitches, which is letters. It also, this connects directly to your Wi-Fi as well, to your cloud. So I'm gonna hit this little cloud button. And here I can go to either my saved designs in my cloud. So this little logo right here, it says Botanical. That's actually one of my friends. She has a small business. And for Christmas, what an easy gift. I made her this bag and matching sweatshirt. Yes.
And again, so she made the whole bag, which is a huge tote.
On the SE980.
And made the embroidery all from this one machine. So I think sometimes too, when you look at this with our 18-month VIP financing and 5 flex pay, obviously the shipping deal is going on today. If you were thinking about getting an embroidery system, you've got it. If you're thinking about getting a super creative computerized sewing system, you've got it. So think about what it would cost to get both of those. Now you've got them all in one, because it will do amazing sewing for you. In fact, built in, there's 150 designs already inside there without ever going to the Wi-Fi. There's 250 stitches built into this thing and 10 built-in fonts. And we're talking about real monograms. We're talking about big sizes. We're not just talking about something that's a little scratchy looking. We're beautiful, honest to goodness personalization you can do with this, which you can't do with some of the other systems that are out there. And basically anything you can imagine, you can now embroider, and it's all in Wi-Fi. And don't worry, here's what I loved about the website on the MySewNet. Get this, there's almost 10 1,000 embroidery images in addition to everything else you can come up with. If you can take a picture of it, you can translate it into embroidery, right? Which is so cool. So that was a whole world. I'll tell you what I loved about the website though, was all the tutorials, guys. It starts with the very basics on embroidery systems, on sewing. They're really nice videos. I was watching them earlier. Yeah. I'm such a nerd. I love my job. I'm like, yeah, I want to look at this.
Yeah, in this studio, there's projects that are already completed with full write-ups, how to complete it, and so this pillow actually, this is actually one of the first quilting projects I ever did.
Really?
I had never quilted before. Yes,
No
and
kidding.
this actually, another machine we're going to be showcasing tomorrow, I cut the shapes out on, but then I followed all the step-by-step, how to sew together the pillow, and then add the embroidery. So, you know, if you're brand new to sewing and embroidery, there's things on the My Sewnet library that fully take you through the process to learn. And but I was going to also show, so I showed you the cloud, but you can also go right into the library, and that takes you, you know, if you don't want to get on your, hopefully my Wi-Fi will connect. Right now it's on my hotspot, but you can go into here, you can search, or you can just go through the different categories and find other embroidery designs already in here and get inspiration that way as well.
And that's inside the machine automatically, or is that we're hooked up to
This is
MySewnet?
hooked up to the internet right now.
Okay, got
and
it.
so you can, if you don't want to get on your laptop, but you're like on the go, you're like, I actually want to add, like for instance, this bee, you can just go into the My Sewnet library right here. You don't
Straight from there?
Yes, you don't actually need to be on your computer all times. You can if you like searching that way and sending that way, but you can also just do it right here on the screen. And I don't know if you notice, it's 7 inches. It's pretty big. So it's really easy to use and access.
That's great.
Yeah.
So again, it's standalone. You could do, like I said, standalone. You've got inside here 150 designs built in and 250 stitches built in and 10 fonts. So if you never want to use your phone and you never want to use the internet, you don't have to. But if you want to go next level and you want to put this all together, or you want to take a picture of something and transfer that into an embroidered design, you can do that as well. So much versatility with this. And really, why do you want it? Well, it's because it takes you next level. Maybe you've had a sewing machine for years, and for me, my next thing was a Singer embroidery machine. It's what I bought, and I love it. I had my basic Singer machine. It's great, it's fine, what have you. But then I really wanted to do embroidery because you can personalize everything. I saw a cutest idea. You put, if someone moves to a new house, you make them pillowcases, and on the trim of the pillowcase, you put the address, like 132 Smith Street, which is really cool. Or Mrs. and Mr. on their pillowcases.
Yeah.
Or easy. You go out and buy inexpensive towels like you did for your friend with their mom's or grandma's handwriting. Like that stuff is the stuff that just is precious when you receive it.
If you have an embroidery machine, you have no reason not to have a custom gift for anyone in your life.
Good point. We'll start to expect that, so be ready.
And then I don't know if I mentioned this, but so I'm going to show you a little decorative stitch. But another thing I love is, you know, when you're getting into sewing, you forget what type of feet you're supposed to have on for specific stitches.
Yes.
So when you select any stitch on here, like for instance this one, it says I need to put foot B on. So it actually has a little diagram and it shows you exactly what settings you need and what foot. So for the sake of time, I'm actually going to switch out that foot, but I would need B normally and it would alert you. So just going to show you a little decorative stitch here as well.
And by the way, I have to update everybody. I've got about 35 machines left for the rest of the day. A lot of you are on the line for it. Make sure to use our 5 Flex. You want to use the VIP financing, 18 months to pay it off. But there's so few of these for the whole day, so we just don't have a whole lot. Also, just so you'll know, not only do you get 9 feet with this, but you get the ruffler foot, you get the even feed walking foot, and you get the 1/4 inch piercing foot included. That's part of our additional bonus goodies with our collection. And the embroidery hoop is 170 by 100 millimeters. That's the largest. There's also a smaller one that's available if you want to go a little bit smaller.
Yep.
But this covers a lot of space, the hoop you get.
It's great for your average everyday projects.
Yeah, right, unless you're doing something ginormous.
Yes.
Also, you know, I thought was cool feature continuation. So if you're doing design, you want to repeat it and have it match itself.
Yes.
Like you're doing something really big, it can do that too.
Yeah, and you can also edit your decorative stitches. Like for instance, these jeans, I made a different variation of them. This is from the software, but say you wanted to add little smaller, like decorative stitch hearts. Instead of, you know, normally you do decorative stitch and it's continuous all throughout, you can edit that stitch and just have one of each one pop up.
Oh, so you can have a whole bunch of different ones.
Yes, you could just do like one heart show up and then add another one. So you can edit your decorative stitches too. And another thing, it has the thread snip, so I'm just gonna snip that.
Oh, automatic.
And
Is
then,
it automatically
yep.
threading too?
Yep, it has a threader.
Yay.
Yep, we love that.
We have to have it. Thank God. You know, when I was younger, I didn't care, but now that I'm older, gotta have the automatic threader.
Yes.
I can't see that to save my life anymore. All right, so you get the complete configuration. You're getting 3 additional goodies that you only find with our configuration from Singer here. Again, we got some options, guys, but again, the best of everything you could do with sewing and just so many options. It's a standalone embroidery system and monogramming system, or you can hook it up and obviously have unlimited ideas because of the space you can create in, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything, oh, I want you to do me a favor. Can you show some of the examples down below?
Yeah, so this is another little apron that, you know, I embroidered this one. Also, it has the stretch stitches too, so you can do the same thing with this. And then applique. We love applique, adding fabric with the satin stitches.
And can you show your zebra? I have to tell you, they have a whole section on baby designs that I like flipped over. I'm ready to be a grandma, even though I'm not gonna be one for a couple years. But I saw these my niece-in-law, we're having her baby shower Saturday. So I've got babies on the brain right now. So, and I loved all the cute pre-made embroidered designs.
Yes, and we love a tote
cute.
bag. I actually did, I taught a sewing class how to make these, you know, love custom bags.
That's so cute. All right, girl, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out, Carly. It was good to see you. All right, guys, stay here. Again, we've got about 30 machines left. I have a lot of you on the line picking it up. Of course, don't forget about our Today special from Janome. All right, in the wings,